Hey, this is Mr. Knight, here to bring you the compound interest formula. We're taking a look at the interest formula, compound interest formula on the left side, but first I wanted you to take a look at the top right where it's written in blue, just what compound interest is. With compound interest, your interest is periodically compounded or added to the principal. So when you see interest is being compounded, that means it is being added to the previous principal. The interest rate is then applied to the new principal. So essentially, after certain periods of time, your principal is being recalculated based on how much interest you've earned up to that point. Now, we could find solutions to compound interest questions using the simple interest formula, but that would require us using the simple interest formula over and over and over again, depending on how many times the money is being compounded and for how long. To solve that problem, we have the compound interest formula, which you see on the left. A equals P times 1 plus R over N to the power of N times T, where A stands for the total amount, P, like before, stands for the principal, the rate, just like before, is the interest rate, and of course that has to be in decimal form. Don't forget about that. So we still need to take that percentage and divide it by 100. The N is a new variable for us. It stands for the number of times your interest is compounded per year, which each scenario will tell you how many times. And then the time is, like before, the amount of time in years. So in terms of how many times your interest can be compounded per year, take a look at the bottom right section. How often or how periodically can money be compounded? And this is typically the different scenarios that you'll find. Annually means it's compounded once per year, semi-annually is twice per year, quarterly is 4 times per year, monthly is 12 times per year, and daily is 365 times per year. If you need a few minutes to copy this down, go ahead and pause the video, and then we'll start back up. Let's take a look at a practice problem now. Okay, you deposit, let's say we deposit $900 in an account that offers 1.2% interest. If interest is compounded, let's say quarterly, how much money will be in the account after, let's say, 20 years. Just a reminder, we have our compound interest formula, which is A equals principal times 1 plus the rate divided by number of times compounded per year to the power of number of times compounded times the time in years. Let's start plugging in our information. So first, what is the principal? $900. So far we have A equals purple 900 times 1 plus. If you're wondering where does that 1 plus come from, it would take too long for me to explain that, so I'll just say that it's always going to be there no matter what. What's the interest rate? It is 1.2%. If you divide that by 100, you get 0.012, and that's divided by n. And our n value, you look for if interest is compounded quarterly. So how many times is it compounded quarterly? There are 4 quarters in a year, so it's compounded 4 times in a year. And that's being raised to the power of 4 times how many years? 20. Cool. We are going to simplify. Okay. A equals 900 times. We're going to simplify everything in the parentheses. So the first thing I'm going to do is this 0.012 divided by 4, which is equal to 0.003 to the power of 4 times 20, which is 80. The total amount is equal to 900 times 1.003 to the power of 80. And at this point, I'm actually pretty comfortable in putting that in the calculator. And the way I would type this in would be, I'm going to change colors here, 900 times 1.003 to the power of 80. That is exactly how I would type it into the calculator. A is equal to, let me type that in, 900 times 1.003 to the power of 80. And I get $1,143.71. So that is how much is in the account after 20 years. Forgot to underline that 20 years. If you want to pause this for a minute just to see what's going on, you can. We're going to do one more practice problem. Let's see. This time you deposit, let's go big, $12,000 in an account that offers 2.3% interest, which compounds monthly. It's going to compound every month. How many months are in a year? 12 months in a year. How many times do you think it's going to be compounded each year? Okay. How much money will be in the account after 10 years? Okay, let's highlight, or underline, I mean. Principal is $12,000. Interest rate is 2.3%. It's being compounded monthly, which is 12 times a year. And how much is in the account after 10 years? Let's solve. A equals, go a little bit faster this time, 12,000 times 1 plus 2.3%, 2.3 divided by 100 is 0.023 divided by, it's compounded 12 times, so divided by 12. That's being raised to the power of 12 times 10 years. So A equals 12,000. Let me grab my calculator. I'm going to go ahead and just add one. Well, I'm going to do 0.023 divided by 12 equals 0.00191667, and I'm just going to add 1 to it right off the bat. Thank you, Mail. 1.001916667. Yeah, I'm going to write all that in because I like to be specific. To the power of 120. And let's do it. That, so 12,000 times 1.00191667 to the power of 120. I'm expecting something in the 12,000s for sure. I got an error. Let me try again. 12,000 times 1.00191667 to the power of 120. Holy moly. I did not get 12,000. I got a grand total of $15,099.88. Cool. There you have it.